Welcome to Groovin with the Rascals podcast, episode 1. Our first guest is drummer Liberty DeVitto, most famous for his work with Billy Joel. Liberty has also written a book called Life, Billy, and the Pursuit of Happiness.
The first song I ever heard was Ain't Getting In My Heart Anymore. And I just fell in love with the Rascals. I loved the sound of the record, the energy of the record. I thought it was unbelievable. But when Good Lovin' came out, that really put it over the top, because Good Lovin' was that driving tune that just took everybody away. The thing that caught me and just took me into another level of music was Slow Down, their arrangement to Slow Down. It's like, I could not believe that was the same song that the Beatles had done on an album, Slow Down. You know, they did Slow Down. I could not believe that was the same song. Yeah, once I heard that, nobody else can do that song like that. That was so great. It was such a great arrangement. The organ screaming, Dino just killing it.
Best woman that I ever had, and I could. Don't move too fast. You better give me some love. Give me your love. If you want all love.
So then you eventually saw the band, correct?
Yes, I saw the band at the Island Garden Arena the first time. They opened up for the Byrds. I started one band that we emulated the Rascals, and I have a picture of me behind a Hammond organ pointing up, you know, when Felix used to hold his finger up, way up in the air, you know, doing all that stuff. They were it for me.
So tell me what you witnessed on the stage when you saw the Rascals live. Try to recreate it for the people that never saw them.
Ringo was my guy, but when I saw the Rascals live, I could not believe, watching Dino, he showed me that a drummer could be as much a focus as a lead singer. He was the first guy. I mean, Ringo sat back there, and because he was cute and he, you know, played with this band, the Beatles from England, and they were different, everybody loved him. But Dino, when he did those things, you couldn't take your eyes off him. You would be afraid you would miss something that he did between twirling the sticks. One show, he threw the stick up so high in the air, stood up, I thought he lost it in the dark, and put his hand out over the bass drum, caught it, and hit the bass drum at the same time. I thought, this guy is amazing. This is unbelievable. And in that same show, I got to meet them. It was a fluke, and I write all about it in my book. I want to read this to you. I write, as we were visiting in Vegas, a big security guy saw me staring at and said, "Would you like to meet them too?" Meaning the Rascals. I tried to be cool. I said, "Yeah, sure." Inside, I was exploding. What luck, meeting the Rascals was my next major step towards success. I had never met any stars before, let alone my idols. They always seemed so out of reach. They existed to me on TV, radio, or record. When I walked into the room, the first thing that surprised me was how much smaller they were than they looked on TV. But the thing that impressed me the most was how friendly they were. I felt like they were my cousins, and I was at a family reunion. Dino Danelli showed me how to twirl the drumsticks and explained a lot about drumming to me. They were all smiles and knew how excited I was to be in their presence. At the time, my girlfriend Regina had broken up with me again, and I knew she was going to be at that show. I asked Felix if they would dedicate Mustang Sally to me. He said yes. I thanked them, got their autographs, and went out to watch the show with the other 1,000 kids. With the front rows taken, we watched the show from the side of the stage, but I didn't care one bit. I was in Rascal heaven. They played their hits, And in the middle of their set, Felix called Eddie back to the organ. He whispered something to him, and Eddie ran to the microphone and said, "This is for Lib." And they played Mustang Sally. The next day, my girlfriend told me she never heard them say it. She said she had gone to the bathroom during the song. It was still one of the greatest nights of my life. Yes, I love the Beatles, but it was hard to emulate four guys from Liverpool with straight hair in bowl cuts, English accents with names like McCartney, Lennon, Harrison, and Starr. I was an Italian kid from Long Island, USA, with wavy hair and a Long Island accent and a vowel at the end of my name. When the Rascals hit the scene, I was in. Three of them were Italian. Dino Danelli immediately knocked Ringo off the #1 drum stool for me. Dino was my new drum god, and the Rascals ruled my musical kingdom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your passion comes through with that piece.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing that amazed me about Dino when I did the interview with him, he was so knowledgeable about my career and what I had done.
Right.
It was like he knew that I was going to interview him, and he, looked up everything that I did. So I was amazed at that.
That is an incredible interview.
Yeah, it came out really great. He was shocked when I asked him. I said, "Okay, I got one question for you. The felts that you put on the top of your two crash cymbals, they were white. All felts are black. Were they bass drum beaters that you cut in half?" He goes, "Wow, you really did study me, didn't you?" I said, "Yes, I did. And there's a couple of times when I was talking to Dino and we did a song called "When in Rome," I told Dino, I said, that's me being Dino Danelli on that record. And what is the reason? Come on. So it's getting to the end of what is the reason? And he blows up with these power rolls that are so fast that to try to emulate them is like, what is the reason? There's one that he goes, it's something like goes from the snare to the tom to the snare to the floor tom. It's an amazing roll. And just the way he starts it, the first one is, what is the reason? Like, okay, he's going to be slow again. Then all of a sudden, bam! It's crazy. They got shortchanged when they got lumped in with the oldies groups because they've never been an oldies band to me.
So in 2012, 2013, the Rascals reformed for a show called Once Upon a Dream. Did you see that? And what did you think of that?
Well, when they first came around, I told my wife I had seen them when they were in their prime. I had seen a lot of other bands that reformed, and you go see them, and it's like, no. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to go see the Rascals, and they're not going to be like that. When I saw the Rascals, not only was I blown away because they did every song, the B-sides. And when they were doing Sueno and How Can I Be Sure and If You Knew, I kept hitting my wife and I go, I can't believe they're playing the B-sides too. They're playing everything. When Eddie sang How Could I Be Sure, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house. It was unbelievable to hear this.
All right, Liberty, thanks so much.
Well, good luck with this website and this podcast, and they deserve it. They really do.
I agree. Thanks so much.
Okay, man. We'll see you.